When we are working with athletes and we want to know if they're a runner, there's one test that we can ask them to do that is a dead giveaway. We ask them to do a squat. Most runners typically don't work on squatting. Squatting is one of the best exercises you can do for strength, longevity, injury prevention, running efficiency, but most don't do it. And if they do it poorly. We typically joke that there is a runner's squat. I was guilty of it at one point in time in my life. I've worked on it thoroughly to get a better squat. It's always a work in progress. But if your squat looks like this, then you're a runner, and that's a runner's squat, and we need to correct that. We're going to go through a series of drills that can kind of help you get back to a better squat or get to a better squat for the first time. But in our strength training for runners, the squat movement is number one. We want to focus on that. We want to get you to a good squat. Make sure that you can do it correctly and safely because it's going to make you a better runner. There are a lot of reasons that people squat poorly. With the running community, it's mainly because there's just not the muscle memory. They're not used to the movement. They haven't practiced it. But for some, it could be upper back thoracic mobility issues, hip stability and mobility issues. As runners, if you've ran for a long time, you've probably rolled your ankle a couple times, and ankle mobility is a big limitation to squatting correctly as well. So we'll cover a few drills that can address those areas, but we're going to go through a basic squat progression to get you to a full loaded back squat. First things first, a couple do's and don'ts. What we don't want to see is when a person squats down, the knees go way out in front of the toes. We want to try to keep them over the feet, but we don't want them to go way out in front of the toes and put you in a bad position. The other thing we don't want to see if you saw the runner's squat is you get down here and then you just bend at the hip and put a lot of strain on your low back. That's not going to be safe either. So those are a couple things that we don't want to see. What we do want to see is whatever your foot position that you're comfortable with, and you're going to need to figure that out, is your knees want to go over your feet, over your toes. So when we do that, we're going to come down and we're going to try to keep this in line. We don't want to see this caving in. That sets us up for injury. But you're going to have to play with that and see what a good, comfortable foot position is for you. We're going to start with a supported squat. And basically what that is we're going to hold on to something with our arms and we are going to guide ourselves down into a deep squat. Getting the correct mobility for this might take us a little while, but we want to try to get down into that full deep squat while holding on to something with our arms that gives us that support and ability to get back up without feeling like we're going to fall or anything like that. Once we learn the skill of a full deep squat going through supported, we're going to go just to a bodyweight squat without support. We want to work up our endurance here, make sure that we're able to do a couple sets of 15 or 20 bodyweight squats with good form, not letting our knees cave in, not fatiguing and leaning forward. We want to make sure we have good control of this skill before we start to add weight to it. Our next progression is going to be the goblet squat. This is one of my personal favorites. It's where we hold a kettlebell close to us, we go down into deep squat, and we push up. It allows us to load this while maintaining good form and getting into a deep squat without overloading and putting too much weight on our back. And then finally, we are going to be at the loaded back squat. That's where we put a bar and some weights on our back and we squat down in good form, good technique. It keeps us safe, but now we're building a lot of strength that's going to strengthen our ligaments, our muscles, our joints, and better prepare us for the pounding and the stress of running. In the meantime, the stronger your muscles are, the more efficient you're going to be. So what that top-notch pace used to be is going to be a little easier to handle and allow you to hold on to it for longer. So strength training is important. Beginning with the squat is vitally important to some of the movements we're going to do in this series. But as runners, we got to clean up our squat. We got to get better at it. It's just a little embarrassing when runners come in. We've got to work on this. We've got to hold our own. So I worked on mine over a couple of years. It's time for you to start working on yours. Use this video to get you started and start doing a good, effective, deep, full range of motion, stable squat.